Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, Jim, it's always a pleasure.
Larry, with two national holidays back-to-back this week, was there much action out there?
No, things pretty much slowed down. Certainly, any news on recycling or anything like that slowed down from the rapid pace it was going year before that. But one thing that hasn't slowed down is, if you remember, back on June the 11th, we put out a letter that was done by the Economic Standard, and it was basically to do with rare earths and flow-through funding to get critical elements up and started in the U.S., and it's been the most successful piece of news we've ever put out there. For example, as of this morning, the openings on that particular letter have been reached 51,000. 51,000, wow. You know, most of the openings I get on anything else, be lucky to hit 1,000. And so that's a very warm feeling. That's 51,000 people. Probably at least half of them have never heard of the company before. And this goes out to, government officials and people in the business. It's a well-rounded letter that has a big following. And so I couldn't be happier about that. And I think it's a bit of it's reflected in our market, which is, hasn't lost any ground, although I was expecting that over the holidays we'd be rated, but we certainly were, but we've maintained. And last I looked, we were trading at 14.5, and volumes have been going up. So, and this is not a promotional letter or anything, nothing to do with that. It's just that the company and our recycling were mentioned in the letter, and it was a letter that was by me, and of course it was finessed by Dan McGordy, and it's been well received. I just have to say that I couldn't be more happy about what's happening, and it's not over yet. So it's 51,000 openings, and we'll see what results. And I think a lot of people were sharing the letter, so there were more openings in that regard. And so I think we hit the news, and but I wouldn't be surprised if the big draw-in was the rare earths that we discussed. And but anyway, Jim, I'm just letting people know that we continue to get the word out there. Like I've said before, we've been on Bloomberg and Reuters, and picked up by international magazines, and certainly recycling companies, and basically scrap dealers. They've picked up the story and spread it amongst their readership, and so it's, the word is getting out, and we continue to get, interest from outside, all over the world on our process, and, I think it's time to start pulling out the pen and drawing up some plans on what optimum size we're going to look at, and you can get that out in front of people. Now, we have about 3 samples coming in, probably about 10 to 30 kilograms apiece, for outside interest to test their powders, and those are going to be get a priority. They have to. So. And we want to finish off the pilot plant and get those results out. There was no news and no significant news this week, but I expect that things will be back to normal. There's a lot of people that took the whole week, considering there were 2 holidays, Canada and the U.S., July 1st, July 4th. And so I expect that a lot of people will be back to work next, maybe not Monday, but at least by Tuesday or Wednesday, and the markets will return to normal. So that's kind of what we've been up to, what we've been doing, and aside from that, the usual news about new recycling processes and all that with very little detail. And I just want to remind people, when people talk about getting 80, 85, 90, 95% recovery from the batteries, most of them are working with the entire weight of the battery, and that doesn't really boil down to what they're getting back in the cathodes. And so you got to remember that. We're probably the only company that's been very transparent out there about what our recoveries are and what we get. And we've also got 2 patents where I don't see any other patents out there regarding recycling. So I just want to remind people that when they read this, a lot of my shareholders send me stuff on it and everything, and I appreciate that. But when I go through it, there's nothing I can really comment on except to say that, well, they're talking about the entire battery, and that makes a big difference. So that said and done, I don't have a lot more that I can talk about. I can't think of anything more exciting than 51,000 openings at this particular time, but I would wish everybody a great weekend, and we'll get back into harness again on Monday and start moving things forward.
Larry, for people new to American Manganese, what are you guys all about?
American Manganese is a critical metals company that developed a process back in 2011 and 12 that allowed us to compete with China on using ultra-low grades of material, 2 to 3%, compared to China using 30 to 50% material, and compete with the Chinese on producing electrolytic manganese dioxide, which is used in the batteries, and electrolytic manganese metal, which is critical to a lot of the aerospace and everything else that's going on out there. Now, then we developed the recycling process that has been so far. Every step has been forward, none back. And but it's a tedious job, and it's a lot of documentation that goes into it. And so anyway, that's moving ahead. And we've gotten good results, excellent results. And you can find all this out on our website, which is AmericanManganeseInc.com, or you can phone us at 778-574-4444, or you can reach me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com, and I wish you again all a very great weekend.
Larry, thanks a lot for the update.
You're welcome.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on July 5th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.